Hi there, it's Catherine from Thinker Blue. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining today on this live. Today we are talking about some mindset shifts and myths with respect to independent play. And I'm actually on the porch right now, enjoying what's kind of turning into a nice day. I hope it's okay where you are too. So before we get started, I just wanted to say congratulations to you on wherever you are today. We're going through a really difficult time, of course, everyone in the world, and whatever you're doing today is enough. Um, I know it feels probably like you're kind of half-assing everything right now, and nothing is, exactly right, or everything that you put effort into is maybe not, it's not perfection. We're not in a time right now where anything can be perfect, and that's okay. So if you haven't gotten out of your PJs today, it's okay. If your child hasn't gotten out of their PJs, that's okay. If they're running around without pants on, that's fine too. That's what's happening here. So, um, So the reason that I'm so strongly focused on independent play right now is for two reasons. One is the connection to feminist parenting. So in case you missed, we had a recent blog post up about the connection between independent play and feminist parenting. Independent play has so many wonderful qualities, and I don't need to get into it again with you all. You know the benefits. But the reason that it's important for feminist parenting is because it helps build children who can embrace their individuality a bit more. It increases their self reliance and it raises independent thinkers. Instead of having someone tell them all the time what to do, how to play, how to engage in an activity, they figure things out for themselves. And with feminist parenting, we want children who are not just listening to the crowd and the norms and the stereotypes that are out there, but they are thinking about things more critically in a different way. Um, so that is one reason. If you haven't seen that blog post yet, absolutely feel free to go check it out. And the second reason is really simple. We all need help right now. There's just a lot going on. For parents right now, I see you. You're doing so much. You're doing a lot right now. It's incredibly stressful and you need some help. Um, so, independent play is one thing that can make our lives so much easier right now. And that's why um, it's been more of a stronger focus than in previous months. So there are things in our way, though. There are things that get in our way of independent play. Sometimes we are our own worst enemy unintentionally. So today we're going to go through a couple of myths, but more importantly, some mindset shifts that you need in order to help your kids play more independently. So the first is you're not responsible for their play. Now, listen, I know it is so easy to get deeply involved with your child's play, especially if it's your first child. There is, I think, an expectation that um, parents with certain privilege can spend lots of time with their children, engage in these sort of enrichment type activities with them, and that you can spend every minute kind of, really deeply engaging with your child. And this is wonderful. There's nothing wrong with deeply engaging with your child, of course. That's a wonderful thing. The problem is it can end up backfiring a little bit when your child gets extremely used to your presence and your influence in their play. So instead, I want you to try to think of yourself as a play coach. instead of their playmate. Um, think of yourself as a coach, not a sports coach who's yelling from the sidelines really loudly all the time, but more of an acting coach who can, practice, can give you some tips behind the scenes and give you feedback if you need it, and is kind of there to boost you up a little bit, boost your ego a tad. But at the end of the day, you're the one on stage as the actor. You're the one on stage who's kind of carrying out the play. Um, so think of yourself as an acting coach who is there to support your child, but is not the one who's on stage doing the work in the end. Okay, so the second mindset shift is that busy is not play. Now, this one I almost don't even need to say it because if we didn't know this before, we know it now. And we're all grappling right now with the loss of school activities, playgrounds, everything that you used to sort of keep your child occupied with before. And this is hard for many of us in such different ways. It's impacting us all uniquely. The trouble is, I think there's a very common idea out there that we just need to keep our kids busy. And I've never loved the word busy. It's just kind of an empty word that doesn't really explain how you are as a person. It's sort of more, the way that you're filling your time up. So to keep your kids busy, I don't think really, represents what we actually want them to be doing with their day and how we want them to grow as children. So, even if we relied on that in the past, the busyness has been kind of stripped away from us. We don't have that anymore. And, deep down, listen, I've done this too. The busyness is sometimes a little bit of an avoidance of spending time with your child with no plans and not knowing what to do. That can be really intimidating sometimes. I think, as parents, we occasionally feel uncomfortable if there's nothing on the schedule for an entire weekend. You don't know what you're going to do, and you assume that your children are going to be bored. But as you've probably seen in the last month or two, wonderful things can come out of boredom. And the best thing we can do for our kids sometimes is to just let them be bored. So busy is not play, play is play. When children have true, serious, independent play, they can sink into this zone. It's how they learn. Of course, you already know this. But they can have that chance to be alone in their head for a while. I'm sure you have that feeling too, maybe when you're running or doing yoga or playing guitar or knitting, whatever it is that you love to do that just kind of takes you away from the world and makes you feel very connected to yourself. Our children need that too. Okay, so mindset shift number 3 is you're doing your best. Please let go of the guilt. There's so much guilt in our lives as parents. I have it too, and there's so many reasons to feel guilt. Perhaps you have a new baby and your older child is not getting as much attention as they used to. Maybe you have a kid who loves to talk. I do. And you feel guilty when you're not interacting with them every second. Perhaps your kid has no built-in playmate. Either you have an only child or you have a child or you have multiple children with kind of a big age difference, or the older one is feeling a little too mature for play right now and is not giving the younger one the attention that they want. Maybe you used to work outside the home a lot, and the precious moments that you had with your children, you felt like you really needed to be there for them and show up and be exciting and really like be their playmate and engage with them. Um, and as we'll talk about more, there's a difference between engaging and play. So, you may have even taken over their play a little bit. Another reason to feel guilt is maybe that you just don't really want to play. You know, I have this feeling a lot, and if you do too, please don't be guilty. It's okay to not want to play superheroes or tea parties for hours on end. Sometimes my kid says to me, Mom, I have an idea. Okay, let's pretend you be the mom and I'm going to be the kid. Honey, that's our everyday. That's not pretend. That's who we are. Can at least be something interesting. Um, so, but then I feel bad. Like she wants me to hang out with her. I should just do it, right? But if you feel like you don't want to play all the time, that's okay. Do not feel bad. Okay, so the best thing that you can do is let go of that guilt, whatever kind of guilt you're hanging on to right now. We're going to send it out the window and we're going to free our children from their reliance on us. That's the best thing we can do right now. Okay, mindset shift number 4. It's not too late. Okay, this is something I hear a lot. People say, oh my goodness, I should have done this a long time ago. My kid's not a baby anymore. They're a toddler or a preschooler, or they're 6 years old, or whatever it is. And I should have practiced this a long time ago with them. Now they're just needy and they're just dependent on me. And they need me for play, or they need a screen, and they just can't do it on their own. I have to just like wait it out and send them to school. No, you do not have to wait it out until you can send them to school again. They can play independently, I promise you. We even, we got a little rusty at it in the past several months because my child was attending school more often than last year. And, sometimes by the time they get home and you have a snack and you hang out a little bit, suddenly you find yourself almost, that it's ready for dinner and you think, did I even give her the chance to play, on her own uninterrupted today? Sometimes the days just go by really quickly. So, when all of this happened a month or two ago, I knew that we needed to refocus on independent play. After reality sunk in, after the first couple weeks, I realized we need to make a dedicated effort at this in the house, or things are going to get really hard and all of us are going to suffer. So, there are some celebs out there saying, you got to just plunk your kids in front of the TV for 9 hours a day, and that's all you got to do. Just let the guilt go, And while I think it is really important for us to let go of the guilt, and there's nothing wrong with the screens. My kid watches videos too. But if this had just gone on for 2 weeks, that might have been fine. Sure, plop your kids in front of the TV for 2 weeks, and then we're going to get back to normal. But that's not what happened. We're now in this for the long haul. I know that you, like me, you're probably worrying about, when is this going to end? What does my life look like this summer? What does my life look like this fall? Plopping your kids in front of the TV for 9 hours just isn't doable anymore. If you're anything like me, when my kid is in front of the TV too long, she starts to get crankier, and it's actually worse for everybody. So again, there's nothing wrong with screens. There's a time and a place for it. I'm not going to judge you for it. We do it too. But it's not the only solution, right? Um, and I know that if you're listening to this today, it's because you want to improve your child's skills in independent play a little bit. So that's a fourth mindset. You absolutely can. It's not too late. Um, and for all those reasons, I'm going to be giving a 1 hour live workshop on Monday called Immersive Play. Um, and this is to help you bring a little bit of peace back into your life. So, in that workshop on Monday, we're going to talk about the 5 phases of play. You can figure out where your kid is and how you can get them to the next phase. We'll talk about how to prepare for independent play because, I mean, you wouldn't just leave on a 3 hour road trip without doing some kind of preparation, right? When you're a parent, you have to prepare a little bit. You have to prepare a lot. So we're going to do that. We're going to talk about how to prepare for independent play. And we're going to go over, I'm going to teach you how to create the space in your day for independent play, both physically and spatially. So like the where and the when and the how. Because I know you feel really overwhelmed right now with all the things you're juggling. And so we'll talk about how you can make space in your day for it. We will troubleshoot common problems, such as, what you can do if they're dropping a nap and how you can actually make that work to your benefit. And questions like, should I use timers? Should I use M&Ms? All that kind of stuff. We'll go over troubleshooting those common problems. And last, there will be a question and answer period. You can ask your most pressing questions that you're having, challenges that you're having right now for independent play. So if you want to bring some dependable peace back into your day, sign up at thinkerblue.com/play. And this is a workshop because it's only 1 hour. There is no fluff. We're going to dig right into the details, get you going as quickly as possible. And even if you can't make it on Monday for whatever reason, register anyways because I will send you the replay video within about 24 hours of the live so that you can have it to keep. You can refer to it anytime. And the live workshop comes with a couple other things you can find out about when you go to thinkerblue.com/play. So, independent play has been such a blessing in our house. Right now it's about 1:15, 1:20, and my child just started her rest time. She doesn't sleep anymore, but she plays in her room for 1.5 hours, which is amazing. And I honestly cannot get through the day without it. We just wouldn't survive. So if you want that for yourself, I would love to help you get there. Again, that's thinkerblue.com/play. I hope to see you there. Okay, have a great day. Hang in there, everybody.